r/nosleep. Posted by u/hotel_mngmt_rda. I work as an assistant manager at a hotel and I have some stories to share. Part 2. Hello everyone. I'd like to thank everyone who decided to read into these stories. It means a lot that some people are interested in reading them. Fortunately, or unfortunately, however you want to see it, I didn't have an eventful night shift last night. My excitement came from an angry middle-aged man who wanted to gripe how our room delivery wasn't open this late. As usual, I gave the standard formal apology, told what time's breakfast would be, and went my way. Pretty sure the man was glaring daggers at me, but I can't control when the kitchen closes shop. But back to you guys. I did see someone mention a Reddit about this other subreddit called Tales from the Front Desk, but looking into that subreddit, I don't believe my stories would fit in there. Obviously, I have the usual customer nuisances and weird encounters with a hotel guest, but that happens anywhere in the hotel industry. I can relate to them on that level. These stories I share I can only describe as specific to where I work. I don't think many hotels label weird instances as hotel problems. And I mean it like that. Not hotel maintenance issues or hostile customer encounters. Hotel problems. As vague of a description as possible. Perhaps because these special situations that us staff in the hotel deal with aren't anything that can be described and sorted into a category. But I guess all of you guys are in for a treat because while I may have not had an eventful evening, some of the night shift crew did. Specifically, one of the security guards encountered the lady in the white summer dress. She has a habit to appear on hotel grounds, mainly at night. However, I believe even some of the daytime crew have encountered her as well. In this instance, I heard what happened from the chief of security, a middle-aged man named Hank. One of his guys was patrolling the underground garage, making sure no homeless people were rummaging around and setting up shop for the night. After his third lap, he saw the lady at the end of the garage. The guy could only guess she had to be as far as 60 feet from him. Her pale white dress and massive sun hat were a stark contrast to the gray concrete walls, so obviously the guy was startled to death at the sight of her since she came out of nowhere so fast. As I said in my previous post, we are to never acknowledge this lady. I never got the full story as to why, but I am not one to prod too much when the general manager states it is almost a threat. This guard got the memo too, as he immediately, yet slowly turned around and briskly made his way to the elevator. The guy was pushing the elevator button and anxiously waited for it to come down. While waiting, he saw out of the corner of his eye. The lady in the sundress was also making her way towards him at an ever so quick pace. The guard was so scared shitless he immediately abandoned using the elevator and booked it to the stairwell. He had to climb up 2 flights of stairs just to reach the lobby, and from what Hank told me, that guy isn't what you would call slim. Yet the guy ran up those stairs like they were nothing. The last thing the guard said he saw before he exited the top of the stairwell and into the lobby really shook me. The lady was halfway up the stairwell, standing still and staring right at him. Now I got to know Hank from the 2 years I began working at the hotel. He is a veteran who used to be a Marine during Vietnam, and he made sure everyone knew that. He was no nonsense and emitted an aura of tough as shit. So, hearing how uncomfortable he was in telling that incident to me before I clocked out of my shift made me know right away about the reputation of the lady in the white sundress. He even refused to allow me to see the security tapes. That's how scared he must have been. As you can tell, that lady is the hotel's boogeyman. I can tell you with certainty that those who have worked in the hotel longer than me have had a run-in with the lady in the white sundress at least once. When I started out, I was asking around about the meaning of the rule circling around this lady as it just was the weirdest thing to have a concern for. I mean, rules around flickering lights and weird smells are weird too, but that have a sense of a normal explanation. Apparently, that wasn't the case as the other staff at the time brushed off any of my attempts to know about the sundress lady. She is that taboo. And I came to accept that reality. Don't get me wrong, just because the place I work at has what I can assume to be a ghost or something, doesn't mean that's enough for me to pack my bags and give in my 2 weeks' notice. After all, I've had my fair share of what I believe to be the paranormal. My university had its own boogeyman in the form of the ghost of a dead student who roamed around the dorms at night. The tale scared susceptible college first-year students, which I must sadly say included me. Working graveyard shifts, I could have swore I saw my fair share of out-of-place people or things outside the front window while staffing the counter, and true ghost stories on social media about similar stories only confirmed my fears. The Los Angeles area has too many ghosts and boogeymen to count from who know how many sources. Wendigo from the desert, haunted Disney park mascots, or whatever. The summer dress lady is just now another boogeyman out of many I personally know about. I will say this though, it's one thing to hear about the boogeyman, or even catch a glimpse. It's a whole different ballgame when she's practically face to face. I've only had one instance with the lady in the white summer dress out of my 2 years here. It only happened about a month ago from when this guy experienced her in the garage. It happened on the 3rd floor of the Vermont building and I was using the elevators to go down. The hallway was empty. I stepped inside and looked down to push the button. When I looked up, she was there. Not down the hallway or anything or peeking behind a door. As the elevator doors were closing, she was 5 feet away from the elevator entrance. There was no way she could have hid in the corner down the hall and immediately sprinted down to the elevator without a sound. But she did, 5 feet away from the elevator doors, staring straight at me. Or maybe I should say looking down upon me. Because I will add this. She is abnormally tall. Anyways, that's enough talk about the summer dress lady. Perhaps I can get a chance to ask around for more stories when I go in for my shift. I want to talk to my coworker Adam, the other housekeeping manager who runs the daytime shift. I'm good friends with him now, so he must have some interesting stories about the hotel in the daytime. I'll make sure to talk to him briefly while I come in for my shift. I'm sure there is proof of weird things happening during the daytime, perhaps things that both daytime and nighttime shifts experience differently. See you guys in a few days depending on what stories the daytime shift wants to tell me.